Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. If you've ever tried to tell a story about something that happened in the past, you've probably realized pretty quickly that just stating the bare facts, it's just not enough. You gotta set the scene, right? You need to describe the background, talk about what was happening while the story was actually unfolding. Well, today we're gonna unlock the ultimate storyteller's toolkit in Spanish. We're talking about a kind of magical tense known as the Copretérito. And by the time we wrap up here, you are gonna have exactly what you need to paint really vivid, living pictures of the past. Okay, let's dive right into this. How do you say I was looking in Spanish? It seems like it should be simple, right? But if you only know how to say I looked as a one-time completed action, well, you're gonna get a bit stuck. We really need a way to express an action that was actively in progress. So we're gonna fill that exact knowledge gap today. To get us there, we've got a great little roadmap. 1. Unlocking the Copretérito. 2. The foundation, which is the verb estar. 3. Action in progress with the gerundio. 4. The patterns of regular verbs. And finally, 5. Exactly when to use it all.
Section 1. Unlocking the Copretérito, the storyteller's tool.
So, to tell a truly gripping story, you absolutely need the right tense. Enter the Copretérito, which, by the way, you might also hear called the imperfect tense. This is your go-to grammatical tool for describing past habits, ongoing states, or actions that were right in the middle of happening. Think of it kind of like the background music in a movie. It doesn't necessarily tell you about the big, sudden explosion. Instead, it tells you what the weather was like, what the characters were doing right up until that moment, or what their daily routines used to be. It makes storytelling so much easier because it lets us set this rich, continuous scene. Honestly, a lot like how we use was or used to in English.
Moving on to Section 2, the foundation, estar, the anchor verb.
So, how do we actually build this? Well, what's really fascinating is how beautifully regular and almost musical this verb becomes in the past. Try to anchor the word estaba directly to the English phrase I was. Just listen to the rhythm of these conjugations. Yo estaba, tú estabas, él, ella, or usted estaba. Then moving to the plurals, nosotros estábamos, and ustedes, ellos, or ellas estaban. Seriously, that aba sound is going to become your new best friend. Whenever you want to say I was to talk about being somewhere or a state of being in the past, yo estaba is your perfect starting block.
Section 3. Action in progress. Gerundio. Ongoing actions. But hey, just saying I was doesn't make a story, right? We need some action. And this brilliantly illustrates the direct mental bridge between English and Spanish. In English, when we want to show an ongoing action, we take a verb, like look, and we just glue the suffix ing to the end to get looking. Well, in Spanish, the concept is mirrored perfectly. We take our foundation, estaba, and we take our action verb, buscar, which means to look for. Then we literally just drop the ending and slap on our Spanish ing equivalent, which is ando. Estaba buscando. Oh, and for verbs ending in er or ir, we just use yendo. Honestly, this simple little formula is incredibly powerful. Let's see how this formula paints a picture of actions that were actively happening in the past. Just listen to how these flow. Yo estaba buscando un sitio web. I was looking for a website. Tú estabas trabajando en la oficina. You were working in the office. Ella estaba aprendiendo mucho. She was learning a lot. Notice the endo ending there for the er verb aprender. And finally, nosotros estábamos viendo una película. We were watching a movie. Do you see how this literally drops you right into the middle of a scene? The action is just unfolding all around you. Section 4. Regular verbs. The patterns.
Now, sometimes we don't want to use the long form of saying we were doing something. Sometimes we just want to express a past habit using a single verb, like I used to love or we used to fear. And for that, regular verbs follow a delightfully predictable rhythmic pattern. Let's take an AR verb like amar, to love. It uses that exact same aba sound we just saw with a star. Let's break it down nice and slow. Yo amaba, tú amabas, él amaba, nosotros amábamos. Ustedes or ellos amaban. Just by adding that soft, flowing aba sound, you're letting your listener know, hey, this was an ongoing reality in the past. It wasn't a one-off event. It was a continuous state of loving.
Let's move along and see how this builds when we look at the other two types of verbs in Spanish, those ending in er, like temer, to fear, and ir, like partir, to leave. The absolutely great news here is that they share the exact same rhythmic pattern. It's all about that ia sound. Yo temía, tú temías, nosotros temíamos. And for partir, Exactly the same thing. Yo partía, tú partías, nosotros partíamos. If you can just remember aba for AR verbs and ia for ER and IR verbs, you've pretty much just unlocked the vast majority of verbs in the Spanish language for past tense storytelling. It's a total game changer.
Section 5. When to use it, 4 golden rules. So, the crucial point is, now that you have these tools, you gotta know exactly when to pull them out of your toolkit. Straight from our source material on pages 58 and 59, there are 4 golden rules for deploying the Copretérito. Rule 1, to describe an action that was in development in the past. Rule 2, to express emotional, physical, or mental states, basically how you felt or looked. Rule 3, to paint the background of a story, like setting the time or the weather. And Rule 4, to describe habitual past situations. Things you used to do all the time. Let's check out some real-world examples to really make these stick.
Take a listen to this wonderful quote from our source text. Ayer a las 3 de la tarde preparaba un informe para mi clase. Yesterday, at 3 in the afternoon, I was preparing a report for my class. This is just a flawless illustration of Rule 1, an action in development. We are totally zoomed in on 3 p.m., and at that precise moment, the action of preparing, preparaba, was actively unfolding. And just notice how much you can comprehend now just by recognizing that aba ending.
Now, take in this really rich, descriptive sense. Era la 1 de la tarde, brillaba el sol. La playa estaba llena de gente. It was 1 in the afternoon, the sun was shining. The beach was full of people. This is Rule 3 in all its glory. We are setting the scene, we're using era to tell the time, brillaba to describe the continuous shining of the sun, and estaba to describe the state of the beach itself. This should really be an absolute aha moment for you. You're not just reciting verbs anymore, you're actually painting a vibrant, sun-drenched landscape right in the mind of your listener. You're recognizing these beautiful patterns out in the wild.
So, let's wrap this up. You now have the foundational anchor in a star, the active gerundio, the regular rhythms of aba and ia, and the 4 distinct rules for setting a scene. The Copretérito? It is no longer a mystery. It's practically your ultimate storyteller's toolkit. So, I'm going to leave you with a quick thought to ponder today. Armed with this brand new ability to vividly describe the world as it used to be, what story about your past will you tell first? Thanks so much for joining me in this explainer, and hey, happy storytelling!